218, 219 girl, and like that means an American record on a flat course. So we may go for that in the fall.
That's exciting.
So wait, Emma, sorry, was there any point that you're like really leading the Boston Marathon?
The whole time I was just like, oh my gosh, it's so cool to be here. So it was never like a point where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm leading. It was just like, just keep going, you know, like don't let yourself get in, I don't know, don't become overly confident because you're leading now, because it's a long race and anything can happen. And of course, the last 2 miles I ended up not. So it's not over till it's over.
And then, okay, so they went really hard with like a 508 and about a mile 8.
Yeah.
And then there were 3 miles, 510, 509 in there. You were off the back, but then you like gradually, so you almost got through your head at that point, because then you went back and the lead back again, obviously.
Yeah, the plan from the beginning with Joe and I was to kind of go with the second pack because we knew they were going to throw down some times like that, and I knew that if I were to run in the 5:10s that it might be too hot for me and I may, you know, kind of go over the edge too soon. So I was trying to play it safe there, but I think I ended up running like a 5:06, 5:08 as well, but it didn't feel that fast, so I was able to kind of keep, you know, within contact, and then eventually they slowed down, and so it kind of felt like the whole thing was a fartlek, which is kind of funny because I've been doing a lot of fartleks lately, so I think I've really trained for that kind of undulation of pace, and that's kind of how those top Kenyans and Ethiopians run, is they just kind of like change the pace a lot. So if you can just ride it out and stick in there, they'll eventually slow.
But it wasn't like you felt confident, like letting them stretch out a little bit.
Yeah, like I always knew they were going to come back to some extent.
Emma, how does it feel to be the first female crossing that finish line for the U.S.?
Feels so good. Like, you know, again, the goal was to win, and I took 5th, which, again, there's always something to shoot for, but to be top American at the Boston Marathon and to run the second fastest time on the Boston course of all time, like, that's special. And so I definitely have to let that sink in a bit and be proud of that.
Thank you.
What's kind of going through your mind as you know, you're leading the pack for a while,
Yeah.
right? What's kind of going through your mind in that kind of second half as you're leading?
I was just like, don't push too hard too soon. You know, anybody can get halfway through the race. Anybody can get through 18 or 20 miles, even when it's the last, you know, 10K. That's the hardest. So really make sure that I had enough left in the tank to be able to have the momentum the last 10K. So that's what I was thinking of mostly. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm leading. It's like, you better be smart here.
And as you were, you know, kind of they start to separate a little bit. At that point, what's kind of going through your mind? Do you think you'll be able to catch them, or what's going on?
I was hoping that, yeah, they just maybe had a surge and then would slow a bit, and the 2 girls in front of me did slow a bit, and I was able to catch them a little bit in the end, but just wasn't enough real estate to really catch them in the end. So yeah, it was like I knew they would be able to throw down some 5.0s, and we're just not quite ready for that, and I know that I'll be there eventually, but this is, you know, my first Boston Marathon, and I really think that experience is everything, so hopefully I'll be able to, you know, throw down those 5.0s as well next time.
Coming in, you said the goal was to win,
Yeah.
which seemed a bit crazy, but you almost did it.
Yeah.
But also, this was the deepest Boston field ever. I mean, a normal year, you might have won. Like, from Worlds to now, was your fitness much better, or you just thought the course was right for you? Like, what made you have that confidence?
I think the accumulation of both, like my training has been above and beyond like it had been before Worlds, but also like Boston I think is just the perfect kind of race for me, just like that downhill. I can really get rolling, and I just have really strong legs, and I think just having, you know, a strong core and strong endurance just really helps on this kind of course. I think it's people that, you know, are a little more like time trialists that maybe aren't able to do as well here. But again, I want to be good at both. Like I want to potentially break the American record in the fall if I can. So like I want to prepare for both. But this was a good step in the right direction, I would say.
It was great.
Yeah.
So do you think in the fall, Chicago again, or
Possibly.
have you thought that far ahead? Or?
Yeah, we're not sure which one yet, but again, like we're just really excited about the progress that we've made and the momentum that we have now, and may as well ride that out as much as we can.
I mean, if you rank your marathons, was this your best?
I I'll have to let it sink in. I don't really know. It's still fresh. It's definitely the most fun that I've had in a marathon. Like I felt so good the whole way, and like just the atmosphere was so much fun. Like it's just such a different beast out here. Like people are just insane out here. It's really cool.
What's the crowd yelling at you?
They were chanting USA a lot, which was really cool to hear. Bates a lot, chanting Bates. I think I got a few marriage proposals out there too, so there's that, you know. But it's all fun, and a lot of my friends were out there, and a lot of them made signs, and some of them were in Dunkin' outfits, like Dunkin' onesies, Dunkin' Donuts, and so it was a good time seeing all of them out there.
And as a kid, were you good at hills? Like, how did you know this course was made for you?
Just because I loved cross country, I love the hills, but also just like I'm such a strong person. Like I've done a lot of like lifting, and I've done skiing, Nordic skiing, so I've just built up a lot of like core strength and everything. And looking at somebody like Des Linden, for instance, who like really did well on the Boston course, and just like having like strong quads, I think is really big for a race like this.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
Some people are made for Boston, some clearly aren't.
Yeah.
Did you do anything different in the race? Or is there anything you do differently, or?
I still have to let it digest, but I think maybe in training, maybe we could work on those 5.0s a little bit more, having that finishing kick. But like again, I don't think we really anticipated me having to throw down those times. So I think that's something that we can definitely work on. But in the race, I think my instincts took over, and I think I did exactly the right thing I needed to do. That wasn't the plan, but that's how it ended up, and I think I only did as well as I did because I stuck to my gut.
What did Joe say to you afterwards?
I haven't seen him yet. He's
Okay.
right there, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can we take a good picture?
Yeah,
Good picture, thank you.
definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank
Great.